What's good with y'all boys? It's your boy Sauceboy Top, and today we got a fucking crazy one. The defensive player of the year has been arrested for playing defense.
FBI, open up!
Stop it. Get some help.
So you can go to jail for defending yourself now? What the fuck? But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get right up into this. Why the fuck Charleston White ass on the screen? What the fuck I'm doing? That nigga funny as hell, boy. But go ahead and get your grab a leaf, you fam. Get your loud, get whatever you need to chill out. Make sure you got your water bottle. Gotta stay hydrated, you feel me? Don't want your lips looking purple. But we're gonna get right up into this. It's your boy Hookah Anonymous for the video and your boy Sauceboy Top for the reaction. But you already know. Come on.
Jesus, I call on you to send your angel of death to get Ben10's ugly ass off this goddamn earth. Make his mama.
Damn.
Damn. If not, shut his brain down where he be a goddamn vegetable. He can't blink and people got to wipe his and put that cup at his to hip and beat because he a stupid vegetable for trying to take somebody's chain.
What the fuck? That nigga Charleston White is crazy, man. I am not
But you know, in the facial, the hospital, you heard me feel a banging, nigga, feel the gunners. Scary ass.
Shootout right there in confessions. Now I'm 2-0. Put that belt on Lil Ron till his fluid's gone. How the get the stick? You know you niggas wrong. Petty ass pistol. Nigga, I'ma use it though.
You ain't watching all that though. You know I got y'all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/hookah_anonymous. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member. And after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page. All that online on the investigation. But also keep in mind to take what you see with a grain of salt, because we all know that just because it's in the media and reported by law enforcement doesn't mean it's 100% true. When they do the investigations, they give
law enforcement
reports from witnesses who were there, surveillance videos, and whatever else that they could find out from those who were around. So some may be true, some may be fabricated, who knows. But the article that just been released concerning the investigation would confirm a few things.
I wanted y'all to see my dog, you feel me? But yeah,
along with pictures from surveillance taken from inside of the lounge. One thing I would say is this: it's been confirmed with pictures that JR did in fact stand over Ben10 and let him have it, and it's no longer a theory. And now seeing with our own two eyes, I find it kind of crazy that Ben10 is still on social media trolling like everything is cool when the man literally could have lost his life.
I'm not gonna lie. You should have died. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you, gang. You should have died. This nigga is such a fucking goofy. Don't be like this nigga, y'all. He is a fucking goofy, bro. He almost just lost his life, gang. And he's in the hospital drinking what I presume is lean out the cup. Liquid heroin, by the way. Nigga got some snacks, some burritos.
Like it's a miracle that he's still here, being that he was shot that close and that many times. But yeah, he's in the hospital bed, finding time to still troll a situation that he became a victim in. Crazy. Now, I'm sure JR have lawyered up from the beginning, but the good part of him is the fact that the police already had the narrative that he was being attacked first as an attempted robbery incident, and he defended himself in that situation, which is basically self-defense, so I doubt the charges against him will result in any jail time. But we're going to get into the article detailing what exactly happened, because it takes a twist where he just may face consequences for his actions. So in the meantime, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into that algorithm, and if you not, Metro Christopher Ford, also known as AllStar Jr, is charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Investigators say the shooting happened around 11:23 p.m. on April 8, 2026 at a restaurant on Kirby Drive in Houston. When officers arrived, they found one person inside suffering from a gunshot wound to the neck and another in the parking garage with multiple gunshot wounds to the hand and leg. Both were taken to the hospital. Police say a trail of blood led from the dining area to the elevator and into the garage. At the scene, officers recovered a Glock 43X handgun, a magazine, a holster, and multiple spent shell casings and bullet fragments. According to investigators, surveillance video shows Ford inside the restaurant before a group approached him, leading to a confrontation. During the altercation, authorities say several people appeared to grab his necklace and watch, escalating the situation. At some point, a handgun fell to the floor during the fight. Investigators say Ford picked it up and began firing.
But it's okay, bro, we can't do that. We can't do that. If he is a felon, he wasn't in possession of the firearm until they started jumping him and trying to rob him, and they dropped their gun. They should be charged. But I say that to say he literally would have never been in possession of the firearm if they wouldn't have tried to rob him. They wouldn't have dropped the gun. He would have never had the chance to even pick it up.
As people ran, one man collapsed after being shot, while others fled toward the elevator. Authorities say Ford continued firing, including additional shots in the direction of another person who was running away. The complaint alleges Ford then returned to the injured man and fired additional rounds at close range while he was lying on the floor. Investigators say he later pointed the gun again, but appeared to be out of ammunition. The court documents also alleges he struck the man with the handgun and spit on him before leaving. Authorities say a third person, believed to be a bystander, was also shot but suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Hospital officials told him.
So I get to thinking, I'm like, that must be dead in Lauren. I'm thinking about that right now. I'm like, that must be dead in Lauren that he stood over, because 10
investigators, one of the injured victims, had his finger amputated due to the gunshot wound and suffered severe leg injuries. Another victim, as of April 15th, did not have feeling in his legs. So now that you know what officially went down according to the investigators, let's break down a few of the rumors and conspiracies and why everything may have played out the way it did. Now, starting where it said, quote, a Detroit rapper accused of opening fire inside a Houston restaurant is now facing federal gun charges after investigators say the incident was caught on surveillance video and followed by a taunting social media post. According to a criminal complaint, Jeremy Christopher Ford, also known as AllStar Jr, is charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, first and foremost, y'all, the first head scratcher from jump is the fact that this case is federal. I don't know why I jumped straight to federal, but it is, and I wonder why.
Because he's a felon, and that right there is a federal crime.
Was someone or some mob already under federal investigation at the time of this incident? Was a switch involved? Why is it federal? But then two, pay attention that
a felon in possession of a firearm is a federal crime.
That they're not getting him for shooting anybody. They only arrested him for a felon in possession of a firearm. So for y'all that saying, oh, he crashed out, they got him for shooting it. No, it wasn't about the shooting. He's just being charged with felon in possession of a firearm. Now, aside from that, this should also teach us a lesson why I always say stay off social media. The first thing they mentioned was taunting on social media, only furthering the fact that them people are on social media observing every and anything. Why? Because they know that's the first thing that these guys do. Now, if y'all remember, as we've been covering this, I told y'all this is one of the reasons why nobody was trying to take ownership of the firearm. We heard conflicting stories where some say he took it from one of them, but then others were saying things like he had it on him already. It just wasn't clear where the firearm came from. But here's why. AllStar Jr is a prior convicted felon. He's not supposed to possess a firearm or be around any as well. So this is why it wasn't clear, because he's not going to tell you that he had a firearm on him, whether he did or not, because he's not supposed to have one, and if he admitted it, then he's basically admitting to his own guilt. So you have people online who were saying things like, it's no way he had jewelry on in Texas, he didn't have a weapon on him, he's lacking. Well, we don't know whether he did or not because he's not going to admit it. That's dumb. Then on the flip side, Ben10 is also a convicted felon. He was arrested on multiple gun and drug charges in September of 2022, which was kind of crazy because he was arrested for that just 6 days after already serving time for a previous case. So he's also not going to tell you that the firearm was or was not his neither. So at this point, nobody knows. However, they didn't specify who it came from neither. Now another part,
it's gonna be some witnesses though. It's for surely gonna be some witnesses that seen the gun.
would say, quote, police say a trail of blood led from the dining
that
area to that
gun. I guarantee you, if that gun was in Junior's or JR's, that gun hit the ground, and that makes a sound. A Glock 43X hitting the floor is gonna make some sound.
elevator
Especially
and
if it's
into
not
the
carpet.
garage.
But let
At the
alone
scene,
carpet, it's gonna
officers
make sense.
recovered a Glock 43X handgun, a magazine, a holster, and multiple spent shell casings and bullet fragments. Now, this can mean one or two things. I told y'all before that this is Texas, so I'm sure AllStar Jr. wasn't the only one with a damn gun shooting in that restaurant. This tells me that more than likely it was a shootout that transpired, but once again, who wants to admit guilt? Who wants to be the person that says, yes, I was shooting too, and involve themselves in the open case? Nobody. So they paint the picture that AllStar Jr. was a shooter alone, but I'm more than sure he wasn't the only one shooting in there. And the amount of shell
He did say in the song, shootout, right there in Confessions. Now I'm 2-0. Shootout. Niggas don't say shootout unless they got shot at while shooting.
casings that were on the floor
'Cause I was
just
thinking when I
proves
first heard
that he
that
wasn't.
song, I was like,
Or at least
shootout.
that's how I took it. Now, when we speak on what took place and police believing that JR was the victim, which is why I feel he may beat this, but then they would stay quote. According to investigators, surveillance video shows Ford inside the restaurant before a group approached him, leading to a confrontation. During the altercation, authorities say several people appeared to grab his necklace and watch, escalating the situation. At some point, a handgun fell to the floor during the fight. Investigators say Ford picked it up and began firing as people ran. One man collapsed after being shot, while others fled towards the elevator. Authorities say Ford continued firing, including additional shots in the direction of another person who was running away. So being that it's on camera, they approached him first, proceeded to try and take his jewelry. This should be an easy case for JR's lawyer to beat. The only part that they have him on is the fact that he had the firearm and proceeded to shoot when his life wasn't in danger. But according to the article, they don't even know where the firearm came from. They just said it dropped during the scuffle. So it
He could try to just say, I
could have been
still
JR's, or it could have been Ben10's, or one of them. The thing with that is, being that they charged JR with felon in possession of the weapon,
He very much, I just thought about this, he very much will could say that, because he could fuck around and be like, that's why I ran when I dropped when I realized the gun was out of bullets. I still felt like my life was in danger, so I ran. I got out of there. I now don't have nothing to defend myself anymore, so I exit stage left. I run.
they're gonna have to prove that it was his and it came from him. Being that they said it dropped and didn't specify who it dropped from, I'm certain they're not sure where it came from. But they do see him with the weapon and shooting it, so he definitely was gonna get charged with that regardless. If someone is shot, whether it's self-defense or not, the case just don't go away. You gotta prove your innocence in the court of law, and they will decide whether you are innocent or not. With surveillance and everything, and I can see it going in his favor, but can't lie. He may face consequences for one thing that they mentioned, and this could ultimately be a deciding factor in this case, because it's one thing to defend yourself, but it's another thing to overdo it. Now in the last excerpt, it is a quote, at some point, a handgun fell to the floor during the fight. Investigators say Ford picked it up and began firing as people ran. One man collapsed after being shot while others fled towards the elevator. Authorities say Ford continued firing, including additional shots in the direction of another person who was running away. Then in another clip it said, quote, the complaint alleges Ford then returned to the injured man and fired additional rounds at close range while he was lying on the floor. Investigators say he later pointed the gun again, but appeared to be out of ammunition. The court documents also alleges he struck the man with the handgun and spit on him before leaving. Investigators say Ford fled the scene in the white Cadillac Escalade before the officers arrived. Now, if you pay attention, they were very specific with their details, and I believe it's for a reason. They mentioned JR was firing as people ran away and continued firing as a person even collapsed. Now, if you notice what's going on here, they're trying to paint a picture. But then they said he returned to an injured man, I'm assuming it was Ben10, and then proceeded to fire rounds at close range while he was laying on the floor until he ran out of ammunition. He then proceeded to hit him with the handgun and spat on him before leaving, and then he left before police got there. Now, all of this is important because now it shows that while Ben10 was defenseless, AllStar Jr. proceeded to shoot. I forgot what that's called, but at that point, the prosecutors can say it's past self-defense because he was no longer defending himself from a threat. In fact, he actually became the threat himself at that point. So this is where the case can get tricky when it comes to self-defense, because at what point did it stop being self-defense and he continued to attack? Then to make matters worse, he left the scene. He wasn't supposed to leave because now it makes it seem like you're guilty opposed to it being a situation of defending yourself. Now, honestly, I would think it's common sense to leave because who is going to stay somewhere where they just shot someone? Am I supposed to stay and wait for retaliation? But unfortunately, that's how the law works. You're supposed to stay on scene until the police come and explain what happened. So his lawyer may have a little bit on his plate with that one, but at the end of the day, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Now, this also confirms that JR did in fact spit on Ben10 like he said, and even pistol whipped him. And they say that he was shot until ammunition ran out. So when Axe says things like Ben10 didn't look like he had any bullets in him, well, clearly
fucking lying, like I said.
That was a lie because we see the surveillance. But I must say, after seeing those pictures, I'm actually impressed to see that this man is still alive. And he should be thankful. He damn sure should be lucky he ran out of bullets too, because it looked like JR was trying to give him the whole clip, plus more. And speaking about that, here's the last part where, if you ask me, they're confirming that Ben10 is, in fact, paralyzed. It don't get any clearer than this. The article says, quote, hospital officials told investigators one of the injured victims had his finger amputated due to the gunshot wound and suffered severe leg injuries. Another victim, as of April 15th, did not have feeling in his legs. Now, this incident happened April 8th. They're saying as of April 15th, which is a whole week later, Ben10 didn't have any feeling in his legs. So what does that mean? I guess all the rumors can stop now and it's basically official that he is in fact paralyzed. I mean, it don't get no clearer than that. So it seems like Daddy Ron lost a finger and Ben10 lost his legs. All at the hands of not minding their business and going to approach a man over another man's quarrels involving another man's baby mother. Crazy. Now I bet next time they'll think twice about their actions because when you think about it, they lost the most. Right? So y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the
Let me know your thoughts and comments on the Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. That's the video. That boy is paralyzed. That boy right there, paralyzed. The other nigga lost his finger. For what? Not minding their fucking business. Do your homework. Not minding the motherfucking business that pays them. Okay? So, sentence of the day. Mind the fucking business that pays you, nigga. If it don't make you no money, don't involve in it. And it gotta be legal, bro. It gotta be legal. Otherwise, some damn shit like this gonna end up happening to you. Come on now. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Y'all should know this. We out.